we're off to go diving. Day 2 of diving. We're gonna stop by the dive shop and then make our final decisions on where we want to go. Definitely gonna try to get in 2 dives today. Thinking about Margate and Invisibles, yeah. We'll have to see which ones would be best for today. There's a colony of garden eels that like to play peekaboo just before the start of the first reef at Invisibles. The reef was lively and full of parrotfish. This was my favorite piece of coral. It reminded me of something out of Bikini Bottom. Seriously, so many parrotfish. Invisibles is really close to Salt Pier. Good parking and fairly easy entry and exit. The reef is really lively and the coral's in better shape than some other spots on the island. The sand eels are something that is unique to Invisibles. Definitely recommend giving it a try. We drove over to White Slave and planned on diving there, but then we decided to go to Margate instead because there were other divers at that site. These white-colored slave huts serve as a memorial to the period of slavery on Bonaire. One thing you'll notice about Bonaire is a lot of times as soon as you hit the reef, it drops off very quickly. We definitely saw our fair share of purple tube sponges.
stove at Margate. It was pretty good. A lot of activity. Kind of, you don't really notice anything. There's a little bitty buoy out there. You could barely make it out. You gotta swim pretty far, but you just hit that and you go left or right depending on the current, and that's all you need to know. I don't know. It's kind of tricky getting out there. There's a bit of fire coral. You gotta watch out for.
A lot of fire coral on the way out, which sucks.
So booties are a must.
You're just trying to get your mask and fins on, and then you're dodging fire coral.
Yeah.
But
and then there's sea urchins on the way out too.
Yep. So a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Getting in and out, but overall not bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good. There's that massive puffer fish that.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of video of that.
How much air do you have left? You got about 200 left. I got about, I think, 300. Yeah, we cut it kind of close on the PSI, but you know.
We were near the surface. We just chose to go back down and not be like
it was
fighting
rough.
Waves on the surface.
Right.
So we were fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get all this shit off. Cheers.
Hold on. Holy shit. Alright, you're good. Hold on.
You gotta do this.
I'll hold the tank.
Cool. Got it. Okay.
And that's how it's done, folks. Shore diving. What do you like better, shore diving or boat diving?
Shore diving, 100%.
Same.
Much better. I mean, the setup's a little annoying because you gotta carry everything out. You know, you can get robbed, I guess, but you know.
No one broke into our car while we were gone, so that's nice.
Nope. Actually, the key's still there.
That we know of.
They get the keys.
We're here at the salt pier where you can get salt. You can just pick some up and take it home.
Treasure. Salty treasure.
Recap of today. We first dove over at Invisibles, and it's really close to Salt Pier, pretty similar, you know, minus the pier.
I mean, I think they would just salt more coral and also those little
pier.
worms. What do you call those little things?
They're like little snakes that live in the sand. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but I didn't even see them.
We'll put the name out there.
That was kind of disappointing. We did see like a big blue brain coral, which is always really, really cool to see. Sadly, most of it had died on the top and was black, but I've never seen a coral that brightly colored, I don't think, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the fish were pretty much the same.
I mean, Salt Pier and Invisibles are next to each other, so it's going to be much of the same. It's just, I don't know. You don't have the pillars.
Still a really good site. It's like mostly
cool.
sandy. You swim out to the buoy and then it just drops off like a cliff, and you just stay within your. We are open water certified, so we can't go below 60 feet. So we just kind of stayed at 40 for that first dive. And then we ended up going back to the dive shop, getting some defog because my mask was fogging up the whole time.
And then asked some questions about the next dive site, which we ended up going with our original plan anyway.
Yeah, we ended up going to Margate Bay, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
we initially had gone to White Slave and there was nobody there. So we got kind of sketched out about somebody maybe stealing our stuff. We just turned around and went back to Margate, and somebody showed up about the time we did. So we had people that were out there while we were out there.
We went out with them, and then they kind of came back with us.
That path, you kind of have to like veer to the right once you get to Margate. It's not too bad getting in and out. It was pretty calm. I mean, there was a little bit of waves, but you just take your time and wait for the wave to pass.
Right.
The only thing that's really kind of questionable about Margate is the fire coral that's all over when you're trying to enter. It starts at about, what'd you say, like 2 feet, 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful going out and coming back in. Definitely put your mask on as soon as you can and look down. Make sure you're not going to bump into one.
Right.
It's everywhere. And honestly, they look mostly dead. So I don't know that that would really
I'll let you take that chance.
affect you that bad. But yeah, definitely a lot of fire coral at that dive site. So, but yeah, now we're going to go to dinner. We're going to go to Erie, Jamaican cuisine.
All right, got the vegetarian plate. Caitlin's chowing down.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good food. It's not cheap, but
very good.
If you want real Caribbean food, Ivory, whatever her name is, Jamaican cuisine, that's where you gotta come.
Yeah, and you got the ginger beer, right?
Oh yeah, ginger beer.
Homemade ginger beer. I got the lemonade. I haven't tried it yet, but it'll be really good when I do. Yeah, like you've been eating in 2 days.
Oh, what?
All right, we're getting ready to go. Caitlin's getting ready.
Yeah, the weather looks questionable.
Yeah, it's raining, sort of cloudy. It's not the best weather, but it'll be good regardless.
Yeah, I mean, the plan right now is 1,000 steps in Karpata, but we'll see what they say at the dive shop. If 1,000 steps is worth the 63 steps, I think, to get to the dive site. So,
yeah, it's not an actual 1,000-step route.
But I'm sure it feels like 1,000 steps with all your dive gear. Yeah, that's gonna, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they say. But regardless, we're gonna try to dive on the north side today since all of our diving has been on the south. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see something that I haven't seen before, which now that I say that, it probably won't happen. But
no.
I really want to see a seahorse, an octopus, but honestly, I'd be happy with an eel. So those are all things that I haven't seen in a long time or ever. So I'm excited.
Should be fun. 1,000 steps. All right. Did you count all 1,000?
Almost.
I'm gonna let them by. I would say having your hand on the little railing would probably help. This suit full of water, and well, the tank will be lighter on the way back, right? It's somewhat lighter.
Just like use it while the
It's definitely warm in the wetsuit. Pretty though. Alright, just a few more steps. A few more. No railing. Just you and Faith. Alright. Made it. We made it.
One Thousand Steps had this beautiful staghorn coral field in the shallows. My ears were being particularly difficult on this dive. This very curious barracuda started following us on this dive. This massive school of blue tang made the trek down 1,000 steps worth it.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun. That was pretty great. That was pretty awesome. A lot of activity. A lot of stuff we haven't seen yet. We'll have to figure out what fish they were.
Yeah, definitely some new fish.
Now we must trek back up.
Here we go. The face you make when you realize you have to walk back up those stairs.
It's a little iffy getting out of here. Ugh. Got it. Just kind of step where I stood, and there you go. Perfect. We're about to eat. We're in Rincon.
Some tamarind juice. What's this place called?
Sada Para Mira. Rincon, Bonaire, Dutch Caribbean.
After a lunch that took way longer than we would have liked, we finally got to dive Karpata.
Ready?
Please excuse my face. My stomach was feeling rough after lunch. Entry and exit can be a bit tricky at Karpata with the waves, but luckily you have this nice slab of concrete to grab while you walk out. Wouldn't recommend standing on it though. Karpata was definitely one of the steeper drop-offs.
Caitlin? What do you think?
Whew, rough getting in and out of there, that's for sure. We thought we barely made it back in before sunset, but some people were actually going out while we were coming back in. We did 2 dives today. We started off the day a little bit late again. We went and picked up our stuff from the dive shop and then headed out to 1,000 steps. Parking there is a little bit difficult. You're lucky to get a spot, but it was a Sunday, so I think it was a little bit busier today because the locals are out as well. But we were able to park really close to the top of the stairs, so that was nice. We walked down the steps. It really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It didn't really feel like that many steps. Like we said before, I think it's only like 60 steps. But once you get to the beach, it's pretty easy entrance, honestly. I think it might be, if not the easiest one, you know, minus the steps. It's very easy to get in, somewhat sandy. I really liked it. It might be my favorite dive site thus far. I saw like a really big trunk fish, like almost 2 feet long. But other than that, a couple of big fish. A barracuda was hanging around, following us for part of the time. A lot of bigger fish there, I would say. Then after that, that dive was about 70 minutes long. So it was a pretty long dive for us. Then we went into Rincon to get lunch, which took a lot longer than we were wanting to. So we didn't end up getting to the second dive site until like 4 o'clock. And we ended up doing Karpata. And that was a lot trickier getting in. That had steps down to it as well, which were fine. Not as many as 1,000 steps, obviously, but getting in, it was wavy. You're getting thrown back. At least it had like a little like concrete platform that you could kind of brace yourself, but the waves were a lot worse at Karpata. The diving there, it was pretty similar to 1,000 steps. I think the drop off is a lot steeper than what we've seen before. Like there's parts where it's just like straight down, straight wall of coral. We got to see a few sea turtles were hanging out there. There was one that was holding on to the coral and he was just sleeping. So that was really cute. A couple of big angel fish as well. We've been seeing a couple of puffer fish.
Oh, a bait ball.
Oh yeah, the bait ball. Saw our first bait ball. Ginormous. It was a little bit hard to see because it was far away and there was no way I was swimming that far out. You would probably get lost in it, honestly. There's thousands of fish, but you could see their reflection and it's just like a wall of fish. So that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, but other than that, it was a great day of diving. Got to see a lot of new things, so that was exciting. Did you have anything else to add?
I've been enjoying, I don't know. The Rincon was cool, it just took 2 hours to get food.
Yeah, one thing about, I can't remember what the place is called. Posada something. It's like the main restaurant in Rincon, I think. But yeah, it took us almost 2 hours to get our food. So don't recommend doing that midday if you're trying to do a second dive in the afternoon. Definitely don't do that option. Definitely just pack a lunch. I think that's what we're going to do from now on.
If you're just hanging out and you don't care, then yeah.
Yeah.
We get the island time, but yeah.
But anyway, really great day of diving. We're probably going to go to bed a little bit early and try to get up and get started earlier tomorrow and do 2 dives in the morning and then explore around the island in the afternoon.
What's for dinner tonight?
We had pasta. Pesto pasta. Cheap. Stay tuned for part 3, where we finish out our trip to Bonaire with 2 more epic dives and a trip to Sorbonne Beach, and one final last day on Klein Bonaire. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.